I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you all had a wonderful week. This week on the podcast, we are talking about giving thanks. So hopefully you have a little bit more gratitude, a little more thanks to give beyond just that one day out of the year that's specifically dedicated to giving thanks. And specifically speaking, I want to talk about giving thanks for the things that might be harder, more challenging to be thankful for, but often those are the ones that produce the most growth. Hello everyone, welcome back to JEB and Flow here on the Street Parking Podcast channel. Good to see you, good to have you here with me. Close your eyes if you can, sit up tall, take a deep breath in, and let it out slow. Do that one more time, breathe in, focus on your breath, nothing else. As you breathe out, come to where you are right now. And this is it. So, appropriately timed, I guess you could say. I wanted to take a few minutes today to give thanks and to talk about gratitude, being grateful, being thankful. I know last year I talked about the difference between those three things. This year I just want to take some time to appreciate reality, to appreciate where we are right now. The good, the bad, the ugly. Call it gratitude, call it thankfulness, call it gratefulness, whatever you want. But feel it. It's challenging. I mean, we've been tested this year. I think we've been tested collectively in ways that I have not seen before in my lifetime. And anytime we are tested, anytime we face that kind of adversity on the level that we have faced it, as widespread as we have faced it, there's always opportunity there. It's hard to see through all of it, to see to the opportunity, but it is there. I was opening up Facebook the other day, and it pops up like the pictures from the past and posts from the past and that kind of thing. And a picture popped up of an anniversary party for the gym I used to own. We had a anniversary party one year where rather than doing it at the gym or like at some bowling alley, we decided we wanted to get fancy and like dress up, do like a black tie thing, and do it at a fancy house. And one of our members had a really nice house pretty close to the gym and was nice enough to let us throw a party there. And everybody got really dressed up and it was just super fun. Anyways, that photo, this was from like 4 years, this was from 4 years ago. And I looked at this picture and I saw some of the old members, some of whom are actually Street Parking members now, which is really cool. But that party feels like it was 100 years ago. It feels like it was so long ago. And it was only 4 years. And at that time, I think we had just moved into a new location. And we were still relatively small in terms of membership. And so much has happened since then. If you had asked me what your life would look like 4 years from now, that night at that party, I just never would have, none of my reality right now would have entered into that explanation. And that's not a good or a bad thing. I just shared that to say that 4 years to me doesn't seem like that long. But so much can happen, so much can change, so much can evolve, and it can happen in ways that seem so slow at the time. But looking back over the course of 4 years, it's incredible how fast things move. And in that 4 years, I mean, children were certainly not on my radar. I want to say, oh gosh, I think Carolina and I had just gotten married. Now I'm getting confused. One of the things I love about my wife, and she's on my list of people and things that I am grateful for. And one of the things that I love so much about her is that she doesn't know when we got married. And she doesn't know how old she is, and she doesn't really pay too much attention to dates. So that's good for me. I usually do know that stuff, but now that I'm trying to think, it's getting all jumbled up. But I think we had just gotten married. Children were not on the radar. I hadn't even started teaching yoga at that time 4 years ago. And I definitely had not, street parking wasn't a thing, because obviously street parking just posted their 4-year birthday post. So we had no idea what street parking was at that time. The idea of moving up to Washington, not a consideration. Looking at our living conditions in Los Angeles compared to our living conditions now, it's just a different world. It's a completely different reality. It's a reality that materialized out of our dreams and aspirations, but it looks so much better. It's so much better now than we could have ever guessed, even in our dream scenario 4 years ago. And those 4 years have been hard. I'm not going to lie. There has been incredible challenge in those 4 years. Incredible hoops and hurdles and obstacles that we had to go through. And things that we had to avoid and dodge and maneuver around in order to get where we are right now. And I am thankful for all of that. I talked about the meaning of gratitude at one point on here, and I'll just nutshell it, but two people are talking, say like a spiritual advisor and a student talking, and this spiritual advisor is trying to teach him the meaning of gratitude. And the student, after months of study and training, trying to learn, comes to his advisor and says, I think I understand. I was driving here today to come meet with you, and I noticed that I hit all green lights on the way. And I normally never would have noticed those green lights, but I'm paying attention to even the smallest little things now. And so I am keeping an attitude of gratitude and looking for things to be grateful for everywhere, even something as small as getting a green light. And the advisor says, that's pretty good, but when you truly understand the meaning of gratitude, you will be thankful for the red lights too. And those red lights are the things that will determine the course of your life. The green lights are great. Side note, I'm listening to Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights, right now. It's incredible if you like Matthew McConaughey. But maybe that's the stoplight thing got into my head too about this. But, the red lights, they make you stop. You have to stop at a red light. You have to maybe look around, reevaluate. You have to be patient and wait till it's time to go again. And the thing about a red light, we've all been there, right? You know that a red light is eventually going to turn green. But sometimes you're at a red light and it's like one of those long ones and you're sitting there and maybe you're even in a hurry. You got somewhere to go, somewhere that you think is super important. And the light just won't turn green. And maybe the other light on the other side of the intersection, that turns red. So you're like, oh man, we're about to go. All right, it's about to turn green. And then like a green arrow turns on and you still have to wait. And it's hard and it's frustrating. But eventually that red light is going to turn green. And if you take advantage of that time while you are stopped, while you are waiting, while you are looking around, to actually look around, to actually survey the situation, to actually take it all in, it will serve you well. Man, that's pretty much it for my metaphorical talk, I think. I don't know. We'll see. But I wanted to mention just a couple of things that I'm thankful for. And obviously, like I said, the green lights are easy. I'm thankful for my life right now. I'm thankful for the job that I have. I'm thankful for the people I get to work with. I'm thankful for my wife, who is patient and funny and inspiring, and also, as much as it drives me crazy when I'm talking to her and she just stares at me with this blank look on her face as if to question or make me question what it is that I'm actually saying and if I'm just completely full of it, which a lot of the time I am. I'm just talking to talk. And I'm grateful for that. She makes me question myself on a daily basis. And I appreciate having someone in my life that makes me do that. Keeps me sharp. Thankful for my health, for my family, for my dog, Tim Riggins, who's turning into an older, distinguished old gentleman. And it's kind of hard. I see old pictures of him, and he didn't have any gray hair, and now he's got all kinds of gray hair. But I love him, and I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful for my habits and for the opportunity to get tested on a daily basis. You know, habits are hard. And the way to reinforce and solidify those habits is to put them under stress and to test them. And those get tested every day. And every time you make the right decision, you reinforce that habit and you make it stronger. You make it stronger on a neurological level. You make it stronger on an emotional level. You make it stronger on a disciplinary level. It becomes a non-negotiable, something you don't think about. I'm thankful for the rain. I never really was that into rain. I never really was around rain too much. Get a lot of rain up here in the Pacific Northwest. Wasn't sure how I was going to respond to that. And I'll tell you why I'm thankful for the rain. Because to be honest, I don't really like it. It doesn't bother me too much, but I don't really like it. It's kind of an annoyance. It gets everything all wet. It's cold. Sun doesn't come out. It's cloudy. It's gray. But man, I'll tell you what, that fog, those gray clouds and the fall colors, it's beautiful. It's really picturesque, and I love looking out my window and seeing that stuff. And it makes me appreciate when the sun's going to come back. And I'm not to that place yet. I mean, we're only in the beginning of the fall here. But I'll tell you why I really am thankful for the rain. Because my little baby daughter, who is just the person who I want to spend all my time with, I like hanging out with her because she gets me. She absolutely loves puddles. And the rain makes puddles. And when it rains and it makes puddles, I know that I get to bundle her up in the most adorable little puffy rain suit and boots that are all way too big for her right now because she's very small. And I get to take her out to the park and turn her loose and watch her just have the time of her life, splashing around and stomping her feet in these puddles and taking little breaks to look down and notice her own reflection in the puddles and get curious about it. And then as quickly as she was struck with that curiosity, she starts stomping and splashing around again and laughing and making funny sounds. And it's the best. I love it. And so the rain is one way that I get to see happiness on my child's face. So I love the rain. And I'm thankful for it. And what I would love for you to do this week is to practice some gratitude and practice developing an attitude of gratitude. And the way to do this every day, 3 times a day, for next week, at least the next week. Take a quiet moment to focus on something that you are thankful for. And at first, you'll come up with the easy ones. Thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my family. But if you keep practicing this and you keep getting quieter in those moments where you're thinking about what it is that you're thankful for, you might start to go a little further and find some of those red lights and find some of those things like the rain. And when you can find gratitude for stuff like that, then I think it gets us a little bit closer to its truest meaning. So that's all I got for you. Have a great week. Be thankful. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.